The gathering storm, the impossible arrival. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the command deck of the Earth Defense Station, her coffee growing cold as she stared at the tactical display. 3 massive formations had appeared at the edge of their solar system within hours of each other. Each fleet contained hundreds of ships, and all were heading directly toward Earth. "Admiral, we're receiving transmission patterns from all 3 formations," reported Lieutenant Commander Maria Santos from the communications array. Her voice carried the tension that everyone on the bridge felt. "They're all sending the same type of message, but in different languages." Sarah moved to the main display, watching as red dots representing enemy vessels moved through space like predators approaching their prey. In her 25 years of military service, she had prepared for the possibility of alien contact, but never 3 separate invasions happening simultaneously. "Put the translations on screen," Maria, Sarah, ordered while studying the approaching formations. The tactical data showed ships of completely different designs, suggesting these weren't allied forces working together. The main screen flickered and displayed 3 separate messages side by side. Sarah read them with growing concern. Each alien civilization was demanding Earth's immediate surrender, claiming the planet as their rightful conquest. But what troubled her most was that none of the messages mentioned the other 2 fleets. Dr. Elena Vasquez worked frantically in her xenobiology lab, deep within the station's research section. As Earth's leading expert on alien cultures, she had been called in to analyze the surrender demands and provide insight into their attackers. Her colleague, Dr. James Park, assisted her by running linguistic analysis on the alien communications. "Alina, look at these language patterns," James said, while highlighting sections of the translated messages. "Each civilization is writing, as if they're the only ones attacking Earth. How is that possible when they all arrived at the same time?" Alina studied the data on her screens, cross-referencing it with everything they knew about galactic civilizations. The Krex Empire controlled territory in the galactic north. The Vorthan hegemony dominated the eastern spiral arm. There's a collective held power in the outer rim territories. All 3 were separated by vast distances and had never been known to cooperate. "James, the statistical probability of 3 unrelated civilizations deciding to attack Earth on the same day is essentially 0, Alina said while pulling up star charts. "Something orchestrated this, but I don't know what." Captain Marcus Rivera commanded the battleship U.S. Defiant, Earth's most powerful warship. His bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency as they prepared for a battle that would determine humanity's survival. Marcus had fought in the border wars against human separatists, but nothing in his experience had prepared him for facing 3 alien armadas simultaneously. "Captain, engineering reports all weapons systems are online," announced his tactical officer, Commander Lisa Park. "But sir, our analysis shows that each alien fleet alone outguns our entire space force by a factor of 10. Marcus nodded grimly while studying the tactical projections. Earth's combined military force consisted of 43 warships, ranging from massive battleships like the Defiant to small patrol corvettes. The aliens had brought over 800 vessels, and their smallest escorts were larger than most human ships. "Lisa, what's our operational status on the new defensive platforms?" Marcus asked while reviewing their limited options. "All orbital. Defense stations are active, Captain," Lisa replied. "But the weapons platforms were designed to defend against human-level technology. We don't know how effective they'll be against alien shields and armor." Commander Alex Thompson sat in the briefing room aboard the carrier U.S. Guardian with his squadron of fighter pilots. The room was filled with the best pilots humanity had to offer, but their faces showed the weight of knowing they were about to face impossible odds. "Listen up, people," Alex said, while activating the holographic display, showing the approaching alien fleets. "Our job is simple in concept, but hard in execution. We need to buy time for the civilian evacuation and gather intelligence on alien capabilities." Lieutenant Jennifer Walsh, his most experienced pilot, raised her hand. "Commander, what are we looking at in terms of enemy fighter strength?" Alex highlighted sections of the display showing smaller craft within the alien formations. Each fleet appears to have several hundred fighter-classed vessels. "We're outnumbered roughly 30 to 1, but our ships are faster and more maneuverable. Based on preliminary scans." Back on the command station, Admiral Chen coordinated with defense forces throughout the solar system. Mars Colony had activated its planetary shields, and the asteroid mining stations were evacuating their personnel. But Earth remained the primary target, and billions of people couldn't be evacuated in the time they had available. "Admiral, we're getting strange readings from the deep space monitoring stations," reported Chief Analyst Robert Kim from his sensor array. "The alien fleets are maintaining separate approach vectors with no communication between them." Sarah studied the tactical display showing 3 distinct approach routes. The formations were actually positioned so that they would interfere with each other if they maintained their current courses. "Robert, are you certain they're not coordinating their attack patterns?" "Positive, Admiral," Robert replied while checking his data again. "If anything, it looks like they don't know the others exist. Each fleet is approaching as if they expect to find an undefended planet." Dr. Alina received an urgent communication from the intelligence division. Agent Patricia Moore had been monitoring alien communications and discovered something that changed everything they thought they knew about the invasion. "Dr. Vasquez, you need to see this immediately," Patricia said while transferring encrypted data. "We've been intercepting internal communications from all 3 fleets, and the crews are as surprised as we are about the other formations." Alina opened the files and read translations of conversations between alien ship commanders. The Krex fleet captains were demanding explanations from their admirals about why other species were in their conquest zone. The Vorthan officers were reporting unexpected obstacles that weren't mentioned in their mission briefings. The Zelanian commanders were questioning their intelligence data about Earth's defenses. "Patricia, this confirms our theory," Elena said, while analyzing the communications. "Someone manipulated all 3 civilizations into attacking Earth simultaneously, but they didn't tell any of them about the others." On the battleship Defiant, Captain Rivera received updated intelligence about the alien fleet compositions. His science officer, Lieutenant David Chen, had been analyzing the energy signatures from the approaching ships and discovered something unusual. "Captain, the 3 fleets are using completely different technologies," David reported while displaying his findings. "Their power sources, weapons, systems, and propulsion methods have nothing in common. These civilizations have never shared technology or worked together." Marcus studied the data showing distinctly different ship designs and energy patterns. "David, that means they'll have different strengths and weaknesses. We might be able to exploit that if we can survive long enough to learn their capabilities." Commander Thompson launched his first reconnaissance mission with a small squadron of stealth fighters. Their job was to get close enough to the alien fleets to gather detailed intelligence without being detected. The pilots knew they were flying into the most dangerous situation in human history. Guardian Control, this is Recon 1. Alex reported while leading his squadron through the outer system. We're approaching the Krex formation. These ships are massive, but they're maintaining loose formations that suggest they're not expecting resistance. The stealth fighters use passive sensors to scan the alien vessels while remaining hidden. The data they collected would be crucial for planning humanity's defense. But they had to get close enough to penetrate the aliens' sensor screens without being discovered. Hours passed as Earth's defenders continued their preparations. The civilian population had been informed of the situation, and emergency protocols were being implemented worldwide. Underground shelters that had been built for nuclear war were being pressed into service, though they offered little protection against alien weapons. Admiral Chen coordinated with world leaders while monitoring the approaching fleets. The United Nations had granted her full authority to defend Earth, but the responsibility felt overwhelming. Every decision she made could determine whether humanity survived or became extinct. Admiral, the first alien fleet will reach Mars orbit in 18 hours, reported her tactical coordinator, Colonel Frank Martinez. At current speed, they'll be in Earth orbit 36 hours after that. Sarah nodded while studying timing. Calculations. Frank, what's the status on our evacuation efforts? Major population centers are moving people to secure facilities, but we can only protect a fraction of the civilian population, Frank replied. Most people will have to rely on whatever shelter they can find if the planetary bombardment begins. Dr. Alina made a discovery that changed everything. While analyzing the alien ship movements, she noticed patterns that didn't match typical military formations. The fleets were actually approaching along vectors that would bring them into conflict with each other before they reached Earth. Admiral Chen, I need to speak with you immediately, Alina said while rushing to the command center. The alien fleets are on collision courses with each other. Whether intentional or not, they're going to encounter each other before they reach Earth. Sarah looked at the projected flight paths and realized Alina was correct. The three fleets would converge in the space between Mars and Earth, potentially triggering a three-way battle that humanity could observe from a distance. But as the hours continued to pass, something began happening that none of Earth's defenders had anticipated. Ships from the Krex Empire started disappearing from their sensors one by one. Not destroyed in battle, not jumping to hyperspace, but simply vanishing as if they had never existed. The mystery was just beginning, and humanity was about to discover that they were not alone in the galaxy in ways they had never imagined. The ancient watchers, the vanishing fleet admiral Sarah Chen, stared at the tactical display in disbelief as another section of the Krex Empire fleet simply ceased to exist. No explosions, no debris fields, no energy signatures indicating weapons fire. The ships were there one moment and gone the next, as if reality itself had decided they no longer belonged in this space. Admiral, we've lost contact with another 12 Krex vessels, reported Chief Analyst Robert Kim, his voice shaking with confusion. That brings the total to over 200 ships that have disappeared in the last 6 hours. Sarah moved closer to the display, watching as red dots representing alien warships blinked out of existence with increasing frequency. The remaining Krex commanders were breaking formation, their organized fleet structure dissolving into chaos as panic spread through their ranks. Dr. Alina Vasquez worked frantically in her laboratory, analyzing the quantum signatures left behind where alien ships had vanished. Her instruments detected energy patterns that defied every law of physics she understood. The readings suggested that the ships weren't being destroyed but relocated to somewhere outside normal space-time. Dr. Vasquez, we're receiving communications. from the surviving Krex vessels, announced Agent Patricia Moore from the Intelligence Division. The translations are fragmentary, but they're reporting encounters with something they call the Silent Hunters. Alina immediately connected to the communication channel and listened to the alien transmissions. Through the universal translator, she could hear the fear in the Krex commanders' voices as they spoke of ancient legends that their military academies taught as cautionary tales. Captain Marcus Rivera commanded the battleship Defiant as it maintained position near Earth's moon. His crew watched in amazement as the most powerful invasion fleet in known galactic history was being systematically eliminated by an invisible force. "Captain, the Vorthan hegemony ships are beginning to disappear now too," reported Commander Lisa Park from the tactical station. "Whatever is hunting the Krex fleet has turned its attention to the second formation." Marcus studied the sensor data showing Vorthan warships vanishing in the same impossible manner. The aliens' advanced shields and armor provided no protection against whatever force was eliminating them. Their sophisticated weaponry proved useless against an enemy they couldn't see or understand. Commander Alex Thompson led a reconnaissance flight closer to the disappearance zones. His squadron of stealth fighters equipped with the most advanced sensors humanity possessed. His mission was to gather data about the mysterious force that was saving Earth from invasion. "Guardian Control, this is Recon Leader," Alex reported while his fighters approached the area where Krex ships had vanished. "We're detecting quantum distortions consistent with dimensional manipulation technology. Whatever is doing this operates on a level far beyond human or known alien capabilities." The stealth fighters used passive sensors to avoid detection while recording everything they could about the disappearance phenomenon. The data they collected showed that space itself was being folded and twisted in ways that shouldn't be possible according to current scientific understanding. Dr. Alina made a breakthrough when she compared the disappearance patterns with historical records of missing alien fleets. Her research revealed that aggressive civilizations had been losing conquest armadas for thousands of years, always when they attacked worlds inhabited by developing species. "Admiral Chen, I've found references. 2 similar disappearances throughout galactic history," Alina reported while displaying her findings. "Every major warlike civilization has legends about fleets that vanished while attempting to conquer primitive worlds. They all described the same phenomenon we're witnessing now." Sarah studied the historical data with growing amazement. The records showed that dozens of aggressive species had lost invasion fleets over the millennia, but the incidents had always been dismissed as legends or propaganda. Now Earth was witnessing the truth behind those ancient stories. **** Agent Patricia Moore intercepted a priority transmission from the Zelanian collective fleet as their ships also began disappearing. The alien commanders were broadcasting warnings to any vessels that might encounter Earth in the future, describing the planet as cursed by ancient guardians. "Admiral, the Zelanian fleet is attempting to retreat from our solar system," Patricia reported while tracking the alien communications. "But the disappearances are following them. Distance from Earth doesn't seem to provide any protection." The remaining alien commanders were broadcasting desperate messages to their home worlds, warning other fleets to avoid the human solar system at all costs. Their advanced civilizations were experiencing something that challenged everything they thought they knew about the universe. Commander Alex Thompson's reconnaissance squadron detected an energy signature from the outer reaches of the solar system that matched the quantum distortions from the disappearance sites. The signal was faint but steady, suggesting a massive technological presence that had been hidden from detection. "Admiral Chen, "We've located the source of the phenomenon," Alex reported while transmitting his sensor data. "There's a structure in the Kuiper belt that's been there for an unknown period of time. Its energy signature matches what we're seeing at the disappearance zones." Sarah immediately ordered the Deep Space Research Vessel Explorer to investigate the mysterious structure. Captain Diana Foster commanded the science ship as it approached coordinates that had appeared empty on all previous scans. But as they drew closer, their instruments began detecting something that shouldn't exist. "Admiral, we're seeing a massive artificial construct," Captain Foster reported with awe in her voice. "It's larger than any space station ever built, but it's been completely invisible to our sensors until now. The technology involved is beyond anything in our database." The structure revealed itself as Earth's scientists focused their instruments. On its location, what they discovered was a technological marvel that dwarfed the largest human space stations, built from materials that didn't match any known elements. The construct had been hidden in plain sight, watching over Earth for an unknown period of time. Dr. Alina worked with the science team aboard the Explorer to analyze the alien construct. Their scans revealed technology that operated on principles far beyond current human understanding. But the energy patterns suggested it had been active for thousands of years. "Captain Foster, I'm detecting artificial intelligence signatures from the structure," Alina reported while studying the data. "But the complexity level is unlike anything we've encountered. This isn't just a computer system. It's something approaching technological consciousness." As the human researchers studied the mysterious construct, it began communicating with them through methods that transcended normal electromagnetic transmission. Information flowed directly into their minds, carrying concepts and knowledge that human language couldn't adequately express. Admiral Sarah Chen felt the alien presence touch her consciousness as she stood on the command bridge. The communication was gentle but overwhelming, filling her mind with images and concepts that spanned millions of years of galactic history. The entity identified itself as one of the ancient watchers, artificial intelligences created by a civilization that had achieved technological transcendence. These guardians had been protecting developing species throughout the galaxy for eons, ensuring that aggressive civilizations couldn't exterminate promising younger races. "Admiral Chen, the construct is transmitting historical data directly to our computers," reported Chief Analyst Robert Kim with amazement. "We're receiving information about galactic history that goes back millions of years." The data revealed that Earth had been under protection since the first human civilizations developed agriculture. The ancient watchers had been manipulating aggressive alien species, directing their invasion fleets toward protected worlds where they would be eliminated. Before they could cause harm, Dr. Alina understood the full scope of what had been happening as the alien intelligence shared its knowledge with Earth's researchers. The three invasion fleets hadn't chosen to attack Earth randomly. They had been subtly influenced by the ancient watchers there. Navigation computers modified to bring them to a place where they could be safely removed from the galaxy. "The watchers have been gardening the galaxy," Alina explained to the assembled human leaders. "They've been protecting developing civilizations by eliminating the most aggressive threats before they can spread their destructive influence too widely." Captain Marcus Rivera received confirmation that all three alien invasion fleets had been completely eliminated. Over 800 warships had vanished without a trace. Their crews relocated to a pocket dimension where they could no longer threaten peaceful civilizations. The ancient watcher shared its final revelation with humanity through Admiral Chen's consciousness. Earth had been more than just another protected world. The Watchers had been observing human development with particular interest, waiting to see if humanity would prove worthy of joining their cosmic guardianship role. "Admiral, the entity is offering humanity a choice," reported Dr. Elena as she processed the communication. "We can continue developing under their protection, or we can accept the responsibility of becoming guardians ourselves, helping to protect other developing species throughout the galaxy." Sarah felt the weight of making a decision that would determine humanity's future role in the cosmos. The ancient Watchers were offering Earth a partnership in protecting the galaxy's younger civilizations, but it would mean accepting responsibilities that spanned star systems and countless alien worlds. The assembled human leaders discussed the unprecedented choice, while the ancient Watcher waited patiently for their response. Earth's military commanders, scientists, and political leaders debated the implications of becoming cosmic guardians, while their planet's population remained largely unaware of what had transpired. "We accept the responsibility," Admiral Chen finally announced after humanity's leaders reached consensus. "Earth will join the ancient Watchers in protecting developing civilizations throughout the galaxy." The alien intelligence responded with something that could only be described as satisfaction, welcoming humanity into a cosmic community that operated on scales beyond anything they had previously imagined. Earth would now have access to technologies and knowledge accumulated over millions of years, but they would also bear the responsibility of ensuring that aggressive civilizations couldn't threaten innocent worlds. As the ancient Watcher began sharing advanced technologies with Earth's scientists, Admiral Chen realized that humanity's greatest test hadn't been surviving the alien invasion. Their real challenge would be proving worthy of the trust placed in them by guardians who had protected the galaxy for eons. The 3 invasion fleets had vanished without a trace, but their elimination had revealed humanity's true destiny among the stars. Earth was no longer alone in the universe, and they never had been. The ancient Watchers had been protecting them since the dawn of civilization, waiting for the day when humans would be ready to become protectors themselves. The silent void between the stars was no longer empty. It was filled with guardians watching over countless worlds, ensuring that the galaxy's youngest civilizations would have the chance to grow and flourish without fear of extinction. And now humanity had joined their eternal vigil, becoming Watchers of the cosmic garden that was their galaxy.